Hey, this is Matthew with BI Polar. In this episode of our series on being a PM at Microsoft, we're going to talk about one of the easiest and hardest things that you need to do to thrive and grow in your career, and that is being your authentic self. I hope you'll stay with me. Welcome back. If you're new to the series or new to the channel, make sure that you check out the introductory video where I talk about my goals for the series. Essentially, I've been a PM at Microsoft for around 15 years, and there is a bunch of advice that I wish that I could go back and give to my past self. Since I don't have a time machine, I want to share with you information that will help you succeed if you're a PM at Microsoft today, if you're in a similar role or at a similar organization, or if being a PM at Microsoft is part of your longer-term career goals. In this video, I want to talk about being your authentic self. This is something that you may have heard Satya Nadella, Microsoft's CEO, talk about publicly or internally if you're at Microsoft already, where he basically talks about Microsoft being a place where it's safe for each of us to bring our own authentic selves. A lot of this comes down to the concept of diversity, where each one of us, because of who we are, where we came from, and the lives that we've led so far, each one of us brings a unique set of perspectives, skills, and capabilities that can enhance the delivery capability, the strength of the team that you're on and the organization that you're part of. And if you're trying to be someone else, if you're trying to pretend to be someone that you're not or something that you're not, this is where you're going to fail. This is where you're not going to deliver that unique value that you could if you were true to your internal being, true to that authentic self. In an earlier video in this series, I talked about the importance of finding the right team, where the team that you're on has the ability either to grind your career progress to a halt or to accelerate it and enable you to do more of what you're capable of. This video is in a lot of ways the same topic but viewed from the opposite side, a different side of the same coin. So I want to focus on what I mean when I say your authentic self. First and foremost, the first thing that I want to share is that you have experiences and skills that no one else on your team has. When I joined the Power BI CAT team back in 2018, I had the most incredible case of imposter syndrome. I'm surrounded by these incredible world-class experts that knew the product inside and out, and I was very, very new. But within 2 to 3 weeks, I recognized two things. The first one was that my entire team was there to support me. I was on the right team. But the second one was there were things that were incredibly easy for me that no one else on the team seemed to be able to do, and I was able to see and identify problems that no one else on the team seemed to be aware of. There's absolutely zero criticism here for anybody else on the team. This is simply the product of the journey that I'd taken to get to that point. Starting off my work life in retail, that dead-end retail job that got me started, being a trainer, being a mentor, being a network and Windows NT admin, moving from the networking side into the dev side, from dev to database, from database to BI and data governance, from being an implementation person to being a product manager. All of these things gave me a perspective, this unique set of skills that nobody else had, and this catapulted my career forward. Now, being able to bring that authentic version of myself every day was really vital to my success and to the success of the team. If I'd been trying to be one of my peers, I would have failed. So the second thing that I want to share, the second tip or piece of information that I want to share is that pretending to be someone else introduces overhead. It takes effort. It is the tax or the background process that's always running that's keeping you from doing the things that you need to do, from focusing on the core priorities of your work or of your role. And anytime that you're thinking, I can't be who I really am. I need to put on a mask. I need to play a role. I need to pretend to be more like the others on my team, or I need to pretend to be the person that I think my manager needs me to be. Like, these are all going to set you up for failure. These are the things that will keep you from focusing on both your personal growth as well as your day-to-day or cycle-to-cycle tasks and priorities for the teams. A few videos ago, I talked about listening to that little voice where your brain or your body is trying to tell you, like, you've lost track of the problem that you're working to solve. This is another one of those situations where eventually you will come to recognize the cost that putting on a mask and wearing a mask in the workplace causes you. When you see that you're trying to be someone that you're really not, that's the red flag or the alarm to let you know that you need to reevaluate and reground and to try to bring that authentic version of yourself to work today, tomorrow, and every day. The third thing that I want to share is that you should learn from others, but you shouldn't try to be them. So I'm going to think back to my first days on the Power BI CAT team again, where I was surrounded by world-class experts working with the biggest Power BI customers in the world, and I was just out of my depth. And instead of trying to do the things that they were doing in the ways that they were doing them, or to build the same practices that they had, instead what I did was I looked at how they interacted with the processes and problems, the customers and the internal teams that we were working with on a regular basis to see where were the places where my perspective, my skills, my activity could really make the biggest difference. And one of the nicest things when I first joined the team, which I believe is going to be a generalizable pattern when you join the next team, when you join the team that you're on today, it's that as the new member of the team, I was the one that wasn't already fully loaded. I didn't have the full plate that everybody else did. So while I was ramping up, I had a chance to look around. I had a chance to learn, to internalize, and then to figure out how to bring my own version of what the team needed, not trying to reinvent what one of my peers already was. Because here's the deal. You will never be a better version of someone else. You will always be the dime store knockoff, rip-off brand of someone else. And instead, what you should be focusing on is to learn and to grow and to become the best version of yourself. And if you do this, most of the time, in my experience, you will end up being the person that your team needs. You were hired for a reason. You're there for a reason. And when you bring who you really are, both to the interview and to your day-to-day work, then you're going to shine, you're going to grow, you're going to have a chance to fall into the rhythm that's natural for you, where you can play to your strengths every day. But if you are trying to be someone that you're really not, what you'll end up doing is simply undermining your own success and the success of your team. The last thing that you want is to be trapped on a team where what they need is not what you have, and what you need is not what your team can give you. I hope that this was valuable, and I hope that you see in all of my videos that I am bringing my own authentic self every day. This is a lesson that it took me far too long to learn personally. It's why I wanted to have a video dedicated to this practice. So please drop into the comments. Let me know what you think. Like, subscribe, do all of the social media things. I do rely on your feedback to keep me on track and to keep this series going. Really appreciate the feedback so far, and I hope to see you next week.